Alright, hello everyone. Welcome. Hope we're all doing good. You guys weirded me out there. Someone said, wait, what? The stream's up already? And, that was kind of strange, because you made me think it was like, I was like an hour earlier than I should be or something, that I'd arrived much earlier than was expected. Let's do something cool here. Let's go to this, and let's change the background. As I've always intended to do, just every now and then. We haven't done Necro yet, I think, and Necro is one of my favourite backgrounds. So let's do that. Oh, yeah, spooky. Spooky. I've really got to remake these. I've got to remake these without the Gaussian. They're going to look so good without the Gaussian. But it's gonna take some time, so I don't know. Alright, okay, so let's log in. And let's see how things go. Obviously the big raid event looms ever closer. We've got just a couple of days now till it happens. Still not much movement on the idea of getting some new prices, but I guess we'll see how things go. Now, as we log in today, I got a lot of stuff I want to show you guys and I want to do. I guess it depends quite a lot on the order of things. So hold on. I guess we should start logging in on Azaric and getting the casino coins rolling. So let's just do that. There we go. Let's make sure that we get one of these courses going. Morning, Dusty. You'll notice we're now at T4 with the Meta Event Rush. I've been getting all of these, and I've mostly just been only doing these Amnoon things in the morning. I've done a few others as time's gone by, but not much, honestly. And we're just getting so much loot from this stuff now. Look at this. Look at this. It's crazy. This is pretty nice. And, of course, we get lots of bonuses as well. Yesterday, we never picked up our Hero's Choice chest. So let's quickly do that and snag an amalgamated from it while we're at it. Up to 21 rare gear. Got some karma. And we're all good. So I did just post a couple more VODs over to WP2, but I haven't posted anything on WP1. I actually did absolutely nothing on WP1 yesterday. So today, hopefully, I'll do more. Essentially, after the stream, I went back to sleep. Oh, good. And I passed out asleep for ages, for hours. And then I woke up like late in the afternoon, stayed up till reset, did fractals, slept again, and now here I am. I mean, that was my day, really. I mean, it wasn't very exciting or very interesting day. I did barely anything. Just housework, really. Reg says, good morning, WP. Just letting you know that your counter is slightly off. You did day 19 2 days in a row, so you're actually on day 23 now. I knew it was only a matter of time before that would happen, but I didn't think it would happen that quick. Really? Reg, are you 100% sure? Because some streams are deliberately doubled up because they're parts, right? It's like this. If you're going based off of the WP2 VODs or whatever, then it's because the stream breaks and then it goes back up. on that day. So we quite deliberately have 2. And just because it doesn't say part 1 or part 2, that could just be an issue with the title. It's more likely to be an issue with me titling part 1 versus part 2 than it is to be a genuine issue with the thing. Because every day, right at the start of the stream, I do just tick it up by 1. Yeah. Do you think the community would be opposed to genuinely hard goals with genuinely good and worthwhile rewards? I was thinking about that the other day, because it's an interesting sort of proposal in terms of like. So I was thinking of this. I was thinking, okay, what if there was a genuinely hard reward? Well, people would get excited if it had a genuinely good reward on it. If it was a genuinely hard goal and it had a genuinely good reward, people would be excited. They genuinely would. They'd also be extremely frustrated and upset if they never got it. Now, the reason for that is because you as an individual are pretty much powerless when it comes to it for this kind of stuff. The only people with any kind of ability are people like me, right? Who have big audiences, big, guild leaders, front runner members of, wide communities within the game that could then push the meta event rush. And maybe people like me have a tangible sense of being able to actually influence that kind of stuff. But for most people, you don't really actually have much power. When we're talking about massive population scales like this, you could dedicate yourself to the events, but even if... So there's kind of a thing in life, right, where it's like, if you're doing something, you can pretty much be sure other people are doing it. So by convincing yourself to do it, you kind of have done more than just yourself. So like when it comes to voting, right, if you're not into politics much, because you feel like not enough people vote the way you do or whatever, if you actually take the time to vote the way you want, even if you feel like you're in a minority group, you have some kind of fringe opinion, if you actually do it, you can have confidence of knowing there are other... Because no individual human being tends to be so far outside the bell curve that they're genuinely an aberration, right? So if you find it in yourself to vote, even though you have that mindset, even though you feel like you can't change anything, the truth is you now know you genuinely represent a demographic that does exist, and there will be more people like you, right? So you can... Does that make sense? And that would be the same for the event, right? Any kind of difficult long-term thing that people would go for. Okay, the coins are up. But really, we don't have much power. So if it fails, you're just going to feel like crap, right? And you're going to feel like you couldn't have done much, and it was a bit lame, and the whole thing was wasted effort. So then what you have to do is you have to say, all right, you can have a difficult goal, but the really worthwhile rewards are not locked behind it. Because that way, even if the really difficult goal doesn't get hit, people aren't too upset because they've got what they wanted anyway. So then you end up with a reward scheme that's like, it accelerates really quickly into really good stuff, and then it kind of mellows out by just repeating reasonably good stuff at the end. And I don't know whether that's exciting. That then you get rid of the initial anticipation. I mean, and that whole story I just described is pretty much ArenaNet's problem in a nutshell when it comes to community rewards. Because they're very forgiving to people. They're very respectful of people's time. They're very open and freely handed with pretty much anything. And so the result is there's not much really worth going for. You increase the volatility the more you crank that handle. And ArenaNet doesn't like cranking it. They really don't. So I don't know. I don't think so. You might look at this community event as being like, oh, it was mishandled. They appreciated how difficult this would be and how much the community would work on it. But I actually think it's probably right on par. I think the best ArenaNet can do with their philosophies and their systems is to just give you handouts, pretty much, which is what this meta event rush is. It's a handout. It's just extra stuff that you can pretty much expect to get, because it would just feel too rotten to not have any power over the big stuff. If you're gonna do genuinely really exciting stuff on serious challenge stuff, ArenaNet has to lock in the community goal into something very tangible. they'd have to, like, expose the precise number of events that they want the community to do in advance. Or maybe not in advance, but as each tier unlocks. So that then even if it is really difficult, people at least have a real idea, a grounded understanding of how near or far they are. And it's not like this nebulous kind of floating bar that's just not going up enough and they feel completely hopeless. You'd still feel hopeless with an incredibly difficult event with a good reward at the end that you failed. But at least you'd sort of know a little bit more why. You'd know how far short of the mark you were and all this kind of stuff. So that's the only way that you could do it. But then you put an awful lot of stress on your team to correctly anticipate exactly what a difficult event would be. And I don't know whether they have the data to support that and truly be ready with that. Like, I think one of the reasons why it's not exposed to us is so that they can sneakily fudge the numbers, basically, based on how fast it's going on and how well things are doing, right? They can dynamically look at, you know, what's happening and shift things to try and give people the best experience, the best handout experience possible. And they can't do that if they show the explicit number of events. You can see if it's scaling at a really wonky rate. Oh, Tier 1 only took 10 events. Tier 2 took 30,000. But now Tier 3 has taken 20,000 because, look, loads of people lost enthusiasm and we guessed too high before, but this is still impossibly difficult for the timescale or whatever. Like, people would see that and it would just be a bit weird. Or it would flatten out quite strangely, quite quickly. So, you know, there's a lot to think about on that topic. Because I think it's just, you know, it taps into a lot of problems with reward schemes in general. And the final thing that these big community goals run the risk of is, let's say you do a really difficult one, and let's say you make it a big challenge, and you expose the numbers and all these things, and then let's say the community is just crap at it. Well, not only have you misjudged, which fine, you might be criticized for or whatever, but actually you've done something very damaging, because the community is gonna do that stupid toddler thing where they say, "Oh, look, we're not even anywhere near close to finishing it. Dead game." That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna say, "Oh, there's no population, blah blah blah." They're not gonna realize that the goal can be set by the devs to a tailored dynamic degree based on their expectations, and it actually has nothing to do with the game's population. But they're going to see that an event came out that the entire community, a large population, was meant to be able to beat and failed to beat. What does that say about Guild Wars 2? It says, oh, the game is, empty or whatever to them. And it's not going to be a good look at all. So that's another really big risk. And another benefit of these handouts. These handouts at least say, oh, look, the game's so populated that all these events have been getting done, and we've been getting them really fast. Guys, welcome to Potatoes for Breakfast. Check it out. We're already on T4. Whoa, didn't we do good, everybody? So, there's a lot of kind of like artificial sort of things that go into why I think it's the way it is. And on balance, just to be clear, as candid as I lay all this out on the line, I think ArenaNet's probably right with the way that they've got it done. I think it's probably positive force for the game that they've done this, and people feel some sense of unity over it. And as phantasmal and vaporous as the victory truly is, it at least feels like a victory to some people. And thus, the game's done its job of making people, entertained for a bit. So that's it. That's all that matters. And I think, it's been a worthwhile endeavor. An extra loot, and, look at this. 1,000 casino coins. That wouldn't have happened without the event. So do they need to the original question, do they need to go for harder rewards? I say no. As much as I like the idea, as much as that would compel me, as much as I think there's a whole dimension of the game that is untapped, I say no. You think the Amalgamated is much more valuable? I mean, yeah, it's not just that, though, is it? It's all kinds of stuff that's gone in. But the Amalgamated has been huge. You could already tell, before this event came out, the Amalgamateds were really a big, big pusher of population, for sure. It's not just Amalgamateds, but it's that you can trade them as well. The Path of Fire legendary crafting setup. You know what I'll be really worried about, which is kind of weird, and I'm kind of... Cater to me, damn it! I'm worried that because Amalgamated and the whole incense thing in Path of Fire, Dragon's Stand is taking a proper knock to the jowls here. And I'm about to need to do a ton of Dragon Stand, more than anyone should ever really do. And I'm really concerned that I'm basically, you know, not going to get access to it easily anymore because no one will be on those maps. I mean, at least I have the privilege and the luxury and the good fortune of you guys. So what we can do is a bit like, you know, guild missions. They were a bit tricky the first week. And then, like, obviously, we just talked about how to do it on stream. And then everybody kind of learns. Well, they could be similar to Dragon Stand. So I like the idea of low-man Dragon Standing, you know. We only have, like, 15 people. You got 5 per lane. And we fucking speed clear a Dragon Stand. How cool does that sound? Very cool, Wooden Potatoes. Very cool indeed. That's what you're meant to be responding with in chat there. So, yeah. You just did the Dragon Stand before the stream. It had loads of people. In fact, we finished Mordrum off with just 1 burn. Nice. Hold on. You say just before the stream. How soon just before the stream? Is this the kind of thing that if I arrived like 10 minutes early, I could start loaded into a Dragon Stand and grab a cheeky Dragon Stand Hero's Choice chest every day? Easy peasy lemon squeezy? Because that would be pretty good. And there's so much crystalline ore that I need that I'm beginning to think that should be every bit as a long-term thing as the you know, the Griffin race we're doing. I mean, this coin collection will be done with before long. So I'm thinking of this section of the stream we might replace with the coin collection, but if that's not synchronized correctly or realistically or comfortably with the Dragon Stand ending, do a few of them during this meta event rush. Yeah, I wonder, maybe it's really easy during this meta event rush. We got 13 seconds. These troublemakers are unlikely to die because the bar is completely full. So let's just get ready with us a skimmer. How many did we get? We got 33 this round. We're doing pretty good, I think. I think we've got the most coins today than we've had at any other point. Do you think we should follow this tag? Do you think the tag is doing the taco route? Let's watch. Let's see. I get weirdly nostalgic listening to that coin. Oh no, he's power crept over me. He's power crept. Oh my god, I double taps there. Alright, we'll follow the green tag. No. Because he has the Skyscale. We're going to make good progress on the Skyscale today. I gathered the toys, so just so that everyone knows who's living purely vicariously through me in terms of all this stuff. The Skyscale toy collection did not require the completion of hearts. Someone told me it did in the stream yesterday, and I actually beat the Amnoon Oasis heart. But then I found that the kid was not the heart vendor. It was just a random kid, the Jatan kid or whatever his name was. So you just go down there and speak to him and you're done. Maybe you did need to do the Heart of Attendee Academy and I just skipped that little gate. But as far as I can tell, I didn't. The other ones you certainly didn't need to, though. You just spoke to an ogre in Ascalon. You spoke to a character in the Shiver Peaks, and they're just randoms. In Lorna's Pass, that one was that you just you know, you just open a vendor list with them, and that's it. You're done. So and it's like a gold for each toy, and then it's 3 gold for like some bedding or something. I haven't handed those over to the Skyscale. I just have them in Liss's inventory ready, so you're not going to miss really any value. You're just going to miss me pressing F on a couple of NPCs. But that's the toy thing done. I also fed the Skyscale in the interim another 4 bits of food. So once I go to it today, after these coins, we will be feeding it for the last time immediately. Because it's 12 times total. You can feed it 4 times, you know, in succession. And I did it on stream. I did it once off the stream. And now I'm going to do it a 3rd and final time. So 4, 8, 12. This is the 12th you're going to see soon. And we'll finish that whole bit. So the feeding the Skyscale thing, the big time gate problem that everyone had, has been genuinely the smoothest bit of the progression for me so far. I already had all the charged quartz, which I appreciate is a luxury not everyone will still have, and that's not necessarily fixed, so to speak, if you want to use that terminology. But I already had all the Skyscale, all the charge, and in the course of a single day, now that it's... Because basically the time gate used to be real world time gate, but now it's Tyrion time gate. Now it's Tyrion day and night cycle, which I think is quite nice. I kind of love that the UI comes all the way up here, but there's no coins up here. It'd be really awesome to see a coin right in the range of the heart. How amazing would that be? There's one here, so it does stretch pretty far north, but not quite as much as I'd like. But for the ogre, you need to do the event that was bugged when I got to it, so not that fast. Oh, well, someone else had already beat the event then. I didn't realise that was for an event. Oh, look, we're doing pretty good here. Oh, no, there were only 2 coins there. I thought we were about to go up to 36 or even 37. 35 is still pretty good. I think we're missing 1 coin for this phase. Not sure where it might be. We already got the coins behind those troublemakers. Dragon Stand starts at 9:30, which means 30 minutes before the stream starts. Right, well, oh, here we go. This is the last one, I think. Well, look, if Dragon Stand starts half an hour before the stream begins, it should be closing right about when streams kick up. So once... It is a really good thing for us to move over to, actually, then. This is good. This is a really good place to start streaming. All the really big metas that I'm going to need to do a lot of. Like this one and, well, this one... by the way, I know that we've done it, you know, we're on day 20 now or whatever. And we've done this pretty much every stream. I don't actually consider this to be one of the long-term aspects of this challenge. This we're rapidly coming to a close on, as far as I'm concerned. We're probably already halfway finished with it, maybe even further. It's the other stuff that's, you know, Dragon Stand and guild missions and... I mean, guild missions we don't do daily. Well, what else do I consider really long term? I mean, maybe to an extent all the Path of Fire metas or whatever. Maybe to an extent this is really long term, because if we're going for lots of legendaries... then, you know, that's gonna require a lot of this stuff. But I have a feeling legendary making shouldn't be so bad anymore. If you're doing it via Path of Fire. I have a feeling. But you can't get in unless you play before stream. Well, look, I'm usually up before the stream. So all I have to do... is while brushing my teeth and, you know, getting ready for the day and stuff, I just have to nip down to the PC and park the account in a Dragon Stand. That's all I got to do. And then just make sure that I've done, like, an event or something. I mean, it's pretty leech heavy, but, I mean... in the name of efficiency, who could blame me? So, I don't know, maybe something like that. I'm always wondered why Guild Wars 2 doesn't have a fishing mechanic. It feels like a good way to do something while not doing content. AFK grind, or whatever you want to call it, is... look at this. You get so much stuff at the moment. Was that Hero's Choice chest? Oh, I got a recipe for a sunset amulet. Is this rare? It must be rare, because I've done that how many times? And I've not seen that drop, ever. The sunset amulet, eh? Okay. What does a sunset amulet do? I'm sure it's just a lame sort of... I mean, it's an amulet, so it has no skin. So it's just going to be a stat set. I don't know why I used the word lame there. It's as good as an amulet can be, so... unless we're calling the whole amulet system lame, and I don't necessarily think that's true. I like having rare trinkets to equip. How do you reel in a fish if you're AFK? Well, yeah, I mean, it depends, right, on the way that the system is done. But a lot of MMOs set up fishing as a deliberate AFK sort of benefit thing. But you completely change people's, like, perspective on what the game's like if they... and how they should engage with it if you engage in that whole dimension. And ArenaNet tends to have been really cautious of that. You know, like they nerf genuine AFK farms, like the turret farm in Lake Doric. All right, someone pick one of these. Do you want to pick watermelon Ooh. It's like we're in a little fashion show. Watermelon. Skimmer. Oh. This saucy new design from the south. The zebra skimmer. A creature we've never actually seen. How about this blue choya? Look at how cute he is. Or finally, look at this guy. Ferocious. He's feeling hot. So, which would you like? The first person to answer said watermelon. I like watermelon because it's like we're actually working down the list. Beautiful. Add to account wardrobe. And as always, we'll make sure that we toggle one of these. Watermelon. It's nice. I'm actually getting the toy section filled up, it feels. So you go. Oh, he looks really happy, actually. I actually quite like this guy. I usually don't like this stupid, like, cheek thing, you know, that people do. It's lazy artistry. But, I actually really like that. For some reason, that makes me quite happy inside. So what we could also do is, tonic. And then hold one. Wait, where are my costume ball skills? Oh, of course. Because I equipped the thing. Alright. So next we are... The Blitz competition is cleaning up. So we got that. We got that. Now, let's quickly go do our Griffin. And then we got a lot of cool unlocks on lists, alright? We're going to power through some new unlocks. It's going to be really exciting. Pure Guild Wars 2 Master. Delicious. Deliciousness. If you're ready for it, okay? It's going to be good. Right. Play. Drop. Dash. Damn. I went a bit too sheer there. Okay. Let's try and get the racing lines really good. I'm going to try and use that technique I did before. Got it? Got it again. Okay, start flapping. Not too early. Got it. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. 25. That was pretty good. Number 1 for the daily again. 25 seconds, point 1. Oh, I've got to be on the mount to see this. I'm actually really excited about that. Let's see where we are. We are tied for... No. We're still in first. We just beat Effigy, who's also rank 1. Lifetime, we're now up to 87. Look at that. Slowly, and we get another level up. Cool, level 20. Very nice. So we are only a fraction of a second away from beating Sean eventually at number 35. Alright. I'm coming for you, Sean. Beautiful. Yeah, we finally beat Kerry. Her name's spelled with an I, by the way. It's Kerri. But yeah, we got her. We're moving up. Moving on up. Alright, so, no Griffin again, sadly. One day. Alright, now, let's go over to Liz, and let's see. Oh, no. Damn. I saw the Weaver icon, and I thought, oh, that's Liz. But obviously, she's playing the Tempest at the moment. Whenever I return to the game after a hiatus, I feel like I spend 90% of my time doing adventures trying to get a good time. That's cool. That's actually a brilliant anecdote. That's really nice to hear, man. Because I think that the adventures are an excellent addition to this expansion. I think they work so well. I think the ones that came with Path of Fire in a lot of ways have been better than the Heart of Thorns ones. In a lot of ways, not every way. In some ways, I prefer the way the Heart of Thorns was more variant in their adventures and stuff. They're really cool. I think they're really good footage and everything. But people kind of sneer at them. But then you have an anecdote like that where it's like, okay, look how much playtime this guy got. Okay, so we got a lot of really fun master things to do here. Let's open up with a quick chat about these guild weapons. Now, someone told me after the last stream when I was collecting these a pretty important fact. And that is that each of these guild weapons, once you bought the baseline one, you actually build these into the Shimmering and the Tenebrous set. And I hadn't realized that. I thought that the Shimmering and Tenebris were separate purchases also for commendations. That's not true. So the commendations you spend on this Guild Sunderer actually unlock 2 separate skins for you. The baseline one, and then the Shimmering one, or the Tenebris one. So in a way, you do need commendations for both a Shimmering and a Tenebris one, but for the first set you're unlocking, you kind of get it's a freebie, right? Almost, right? So the idea is we've got a progression, we've got a path. Which direction are we going to go? And I actually really enjoy that for what it's worth. I think that's really fun, and, you know, I like the feeling that I'm making a decision via crafting here with that. So we've bought 6 guild weapons so far. We can therefore get 6 Shimmering on 6 Tenebris skins while we're at it. We can, right now, get 6 skins. However, there's some complications to this fact. Number 1... you need the original guild weapon. If you get rid of these, which I almost did, right? I'm surprised I kept all of them in Liss's inventory. If you get rid of them, you have to spend more commendations to get them back, right? You have to go back through, and you can actually waste and lose commendations altogether. So if you're doing this, you have to re-buy them. Brutal, all right? That's one thing, so I'm happy about here. The other thing is, when you pick them up, they arrive as soulbound. So you see this is soulbound to Liss. Now that's a problem, because if I want the Shimmering or the Tenebris bow, I need 400 huntsmen to get it. But Liss is not my crafting character. My engineer is my crafting character. Liss is only a master artificer as far as weapons are concerned. So she's screwed, basically, because now she's got these guild items, and the only way that she can craft them higher is Liss personally now also needs to be a max level weaponsmith and a max level huntsman in order to be able to get value out of these. Either that, or we're set back X amount of time because we have to buy more commendations and replace these anyway. So I have to max these disciplines out now, or I could gamble, go into support and be like, oh, support, can you help me please? Blah, 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 which I'm not going to do. So yeah, we are going to max these up. Now, I'm not sure how expensive that is. Also, I find it extremely tedious grinding a level to 400. Extremely tedious. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to our crafting tab. And I'm going to look. So look, she doesn't. Well, mind you, the ones that are expressed there, only the ones you currently have active. So Liss is like the second character I ever made on the account. She is almost as old as Guild Wars 2 itself. She is 3 days younger than Guild Wars 2, alright? And she's been something of a main for long periods of that. So the question is, in all those years, how far did I ever push weaponsmithing on her? So let's deactivate Artificer for now, because coincidentally as well, and here's the real wow, okay, the focus we can do, because we did the focus. That's a caster weapon, but all the other ones are Huntsman and Weaponsmith. So we kind of really screwed ourselves here. So she's a level 0 Weaponsmith, okay? Now, obviously, there's lots of refinement I'll be able to do, which should just bump stuff up. Like, we can make these planks, and we'll get to whatever level. And we could even use crafting boosters. Interestingly, linseed oil is down here. Can you power level all the way to the top? Thanks so much for the guild invite, WP. No worries, man. And why not use Guild Wars 2 craft? I can. I'm not familiar with this part of the game because I find it shit, okay? So, I don't really, you know... And I've, in the past, streamed this on a few occasions. And I've just felt like it's some boring ass nonsense. So, we're not going to be doing it. She's level 0 Weaponsmith. I will do it. It's just I'm not going to do it on stream. And then... Why aren't you letting me deactivate it again now? Oh, right, because I just need to go to the next vendor. And so for Huntsman... Please teach me to be a Huntsman. Deactivate Jeweler. We're now a Huntsman. Huntsman, we're also level 0. Okay, so... Yeah, and the worst thing about this is, I can't even be like, oh, well, just for the future weapons, we'll make sure we buy them on the engineer. It doesn't matter anymore, because because when we buy the next ones, Liss is going to have to max it, so Liss will just have everything. So in a weird way, I kind of like this, because it's like, you know, she's going to we're the Guild Wars 2 Masters, so it's kind of like, you know, have one character with everything on it, I suppose. But at the very least, we can do this one artificing recipe. So let's do that. So let's deactivate Taylor for now, because, you know, later on after the stream, I'm going to have to do this. And then let's type the word shimmering. Let's type the word tenebrous. Okay. So neither of those are appearing as recipes. So where do we get the recipe from? Does the recipe cost commendations? Is that what it is? Let me make sure, just in case it's... I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not, but just in case, let me make sure I go to Spud 1. Oh, you buy the recipe specifically from the guild hall. Oh, I guess that makes sense, because it's more of a... It's like this is the expansion upgrade for you. So which NPC at the guild hall? Oh, I just got a dead leg. Oh, maybe I'm sitting weirdly. Oh, let's stand up. You know, I've got an idea that I kind of want to... sort things out so that every morning while I'm streaming, we stand while we stream every morning. That might be nice. It's very healthy to spend a couple of hours a day standing, and I haven't done it for so long. So if we're doing this every day, it's kind of a nice sort of match, you know. It's a good thing to just sort of get my crap together. May as well take advantage. Alright, so the guild initiative notary, decoration traders... I'm guessing it's going to be the workshop, right? Maybe the Kensho Arrow Soul sells it to us. I don't really have a standing desk, but I do have a way of raising the desk up so that it's essentially like a standing desk. A standing desk is like a pricey fucking annoying thing where, you know, it's interchangeably moving up and down. But you can just stack furniture on top of other furniture basically to get things the right height. It needs... Oh, it does need commendations, and it does need crystalline ore, but it unlocks both at once. Really? Oh, rip. Yeah, Inks, you felt that pain, have you? Well, there you go. I should try the Dark Ravens idea. Can't you put the weapons in the bank and use them as crafting materials on the other characters? Hey, that's an interesting thought. Well, none of that's relevant. What? Why haven't I reaped any of this? I assumed, you know, we've just been unlucky with the reaping, basically. I could have AoE gathered all this if I had it correct, but I don't have it correct. It's not on the right tool. I really just want more reaping glyphs. I want 3 reaping glyphs. Can we get that? That would be so amazing. There, why you were in Dragon's Stand earlier. The devs at Grinding Gear Games just use concrete blocks and bricks to make standing desks. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, you can just stack stuff up. I mean, that's kind of a funny idea. Do they at least, like, drape some cloth over it so it doesn't look like they're in a fucking post-apocalyptic wasteland? Concrete and brick everywhere all around their thing. I found a very interesting subreddit yesterday. There's a real... You know what, right? I genuinely feel like my generation, our generation, us... We are so catty and judgmental and just like nasty people. I feel more of a kindred spirit of those like very everything must be correct kind of prudes of my grandparents' generation. I feel like we're more aligned with our grandparents' generation than just our parents, right? I really do feel that way. Here we go. This is the stuff, the Chiaroscuro. Oh my god, and it's so much. It's 40 each. Well, no wonder I don't have any of the recipes. Because people are just so judgy, and the internet is like such a great opportunity to judge people. And I've realized that a lot of subreddits that I actually end up interested in and end up looking at are judgmental subreddits. Stuff like examples of gatekeeping and examples of people acting smart and, you know, and these tend to be very popular subreddits too that grow. Anyway, I found another what I call judgmental subreddit. There's so many judgmental subreddits. Here's another one I found. Neckbeard Nests. All right. So there was this big post. Okay, wait. Let me figure out what I'm doing next. Oh, we're staying on lists. Look, I have more stories to tell. So there was a post yesterday. Apparently some guy on Twitch, I don't know what game he plays. I don't know what's going on, right? But he's a guy, and this is a serious subject. You know, as often we end up going into these kind of territories. Right? I'm not making fun of this guy in any way. But there's this guy on Twitch who found a way to profit off of his depression. He'd clearly been very depressed for a long time, and he just let crap build up in his house, like a hoarder level, right? Like, just he hadn't cleaned his room apparently since like 2006 or something, right? He just sat in his room and he played video games and he just let crap build up. And so there were all these pictures, and he started streaming what this room looked like, and it just looked like this hellhole, right? And a lot of people obviously end up in this situation. A lot of people need support. But this guy like had a real world friend, I guess, who'd convinced him, look, you need to clean this up. It's been over a decade of just grime and shit in here, and you've just been living in it. And they streamed it. They streamed him cleaning this room up. They streamed him trying to sort of get his life back together. And we're going to do Lion's Arch here for this bit. And so anyway, it blew up, obviously, and he gets lots of views, and everybody likes to watch it. And people were really supportive as well, you know. And it's, like, grotesque. Like, apparently there were, like, urine bottles and stuff. It was grotesque, like, really, really nasty. But, you know, that just adds to the entertainment, obviously. And so anyway, from this post, I end up discovering there's this other subreddit called Neckbeard Nest, where people just post judgmental pictures of each other's rooms. And, you know, the particularly dirty and nasty ones, and say, oh, look at this loser, look at this guy with all this grime and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, it's kind of an amazing subreddit. Yeah, there's the judging side of it, which I don't act like I rise above. It's kind of interesting for that level. But the other level is some of these places that people play games, they're like, it's like someone's found a power socket under a motorway bridge, right? And they're homeless. And they've managed to, like, scavenge together an old, like, CRT monitor and a PC from somewhere. They've plugged it into this power socket. And they're, like, living, like, on just a concrete road with just, like, you know, like, road trash and, like, you know, roadkill and stuff. They're just sitting there on just, like, this deteriorated old mattress playing video games. Like there's a picture of a guy who's like playing Fallout, and he clearly lives in some old like decrepit old bunker that's got no gas, no electric, no nothing, but he's like sitting there in what literally looks like a post-apocalyptic scenario playing Fallout, the newest Fallout. And it's such a weird, like, it's almost art to see this stuff. It's really weird. And yeah, I did just say other people's suffering is basically like art, and it obviously is a representation of their suffering, but you know, they're compelling pictures for a very real reason. Anyway, yeah, so that's the newest judgment subreddit I found, and I don't know what got me onto talking about that today, but here we go. So let's move on now. This inventory looks like a bomb's hit it. Now the reason for that is I was looking at minis off stream yesterday and unlocking some new minis. Some we could just get pretty quick access to, so I'm going to type mini here. First of all, there's the mini green skimmer pup. I basically went to Guild Wars 2 efficiency, and I saw that this guy was pretty cheap, so I picked him up, and I've unlocked him. Boom. The mini red jackal pup is very similar. And he's very cute, of course. Nice thick neck there, big head. And we're just going to unlock him. Now, these minis are actually the start of long crafting progressions into huge numbers of varieties of them. So here, it starts at yellow, then you add 3 yellows together to get the blue one, and then you add 3 blue ones together to get the red one, and you just go up and up and up and up and up. There's a ton of minis on this chain. It eventually comes to Stardust, and we do want to do these. These are actually really high-value minis, because not only do they unlock the mini slots for us, like, okay, I just want to explain. When I come to these slots, what I want to do is feel some semblance of almost being done. So, like, finishes, it's like, look, we've got these tangible couple of things. A wardrobe unlock, I might finish these. When we look at male characters, carriers, it's like, okay, we've just got a couple left. They're all in the gem store at the moment. We could be gifted any of these at any time. The Sylvari, the Aviator, the Red Mail, the Confetti, or the Exalted, right? Or eventually we'll be able to pick some of those up with some gems. We can move on. I like to feel that. Then you've got minis. And it's like, yeah, I've got a shit ton of minis. Look at all these minis, guys. Look at this. It's amazing. Look at how many minis I've got. Aren't I impressive? Then it's like, okay, there's a lot here. But the thing is, a lot of what I'm scrolling through at the bottom here are just this kind of stuff. Look, look, look. These are the pups. Pup, 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 pup. So I really want these filled out. They're all on the trading post, but they get increasingly expensive. So I don't know. They're all fully tradable. And as time goes by, I think they are getting pricier, so maybe we look at that. They're high value for that reason, in that, you know, they get if we got all of those done, it'd just be such an enormous chunk of that user interface that we would have just burned through, and it would have been good. But then also, if you look over here, there are obviously collections. So we get AP from it, which is great, and we get keys. And keys equal Black Lion chests. So, keys equal automatic unlockers. Only 5, but that's pretty good. So I'm thinking, right here, right now, I'm going to buy a whole collection of these. Which collection should we pick? What one do you guys think? Which is the cheapest? Does anybody know? We've got the Skimmer Pup, the Jackal Pup, the Raptor Hatchling, which I think was the first, or the Springer Kit, okay? They did a collection for every single one. There might even be a Griffin selection. So which one should we do? Jackal, Griffin, Raptor, Skimmer is the newest. The newest would be the cheapest. Alright, let's do Skimmer then. Okay, now the way that we're going to do this is we're not going to unlock it all here today. We're going to put buy orders in. Alright? Or maybe this is a bad idea, because if we do buy... Well, let's check my transactions, and let's check buying. This is a mini I attempted to buy. This is the Zapper, which we still haven't got. The Mystery Tonic, which we still haven't got. Wait. Why have I got 2 orders for the Chuck Zapper? Alright, we'll get that money back. So, I don't know. A few of it's filled. Alright, let's just see how it goes. Alright, so... Skimmer Pup. Oh, wait. Skimmer Pup. Now, we are looking for the black Skimmer Pup. Let's just do it by price ascending. So blue we've got. Why is it showing... I hate the way the trading post catches more stuff than it should. Alright, orange. Well, let me go in order. I have to do this in order, otherwise we might miss one. So the black is already 18 gold. So let's put in a buy order for 15... I'm going to bump everyone by a single gold. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a buy order in for a single gold higher than everyone else has. That's what I'm going to do. So black. We're going to spend a lot of money here, so get ready. We're going to go gold. Up to 31G. We're going to go iceberg. There he is. 79? That guy's offering 60 gold? Ordering 1? Alright, I'm going to beat you. This guy's going to feel pretty fucked off with this. Because he's spent a ton of money on that. And I've just nipped him in the bud. Okay, the lantern. We're up to 90 gold. Going up to 97. Oh, we can buy that one straight up. No. 71. Why is that cheaper? Why did I just read 90 there, by the way? 71. Mini orange skimmer. Why is orange so high? What? I guess it's just the ordering's a bit weird. Alright, the orange one's cheap at least. So we can grab that. Purple skimmer. So he's up to 12 gold. And the silver skimmer. Do you know what this reminds me of? Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, where you got like the Cho Garden and you're making different kinds of Chos. And to get like the silver one, you have to like breed like all the different types together. Alright, so we'll put a buy order in at 41 gold, 42 gold, sorry. And then finally, the white skimmer. At 9 gold. Alright, so we've now put a buy order for every single one. And just hopefully, they'll roll in. I don't know. And that's just 1 of 5. So it's a lot of work. And a lot of waiting, probably. I ordered the silver jackal, not the silver skimmer. Okay, good job, chat. Good job. Let's change that. Oh yeah, silver jackal. Silver. Oh, Jesus Christ. My entire hand was too far left on the thing there. Silver skimmer. Alright. So let's place his order there as well. And we'll see what comes of that. Now, let's go back here. And let's go to minis. So we have mini Renegade Goria half cut. This was just off the trading post. Just one of the Path of Fire minis representing the new specialization NPCs. We have mini Second Spear Naeem, who I think comes from the Sun Spear gift thing, and I might have just missed out on. But we'll unlock her. So we see we've got her there now. And then we have Halloween. Okay, so Halloween, there's a couple of minis that you could just straight up buy. For example, this dude. And they're not that expensive. So mini Tailog the Gargoyle. He was pretty cheap. So let's unlock this guy. Nice. Now, there's also the mini Pumpkin and the mini Pumpkin Jacko. So, for the mini Pumpkin, you could just buy it. And then you can upgrade it in the Mystic Forge to the mini Pumpkin Jacko. And the way you do that is with Batwing Brew and Hellfire Skeleton Tonics and Pumpkin Oil. Okay? So you combine all those together and you get the Jacko. Now the thing is, this Jacko, if you get 5 of those, you can combine them into a really big one. Oh, and I never showed you guys what it looked like. Oh, we were already on the right one. Into the big one, which is this guy, the Jack-o'-lantern. Okay, so you got the Pumpkin Jack, he floats around with you. Then you got the Pumpkin Jacko, who also floats around with you. I really like this mini. Or this one, who's really cool, okay? The Pumpkin Jack-o'-lantern, he gets bigger. You see how they tier up in size? Honestly, the team that did this, they understand minis very well, I think. You know, as they grow in prestige, they grow in size. Simple. So, anyway, he's cool. But for him, we need an actual Halloween festival exclusive time. And, item. And it's not available right now because the script is not selling it. So I just wanted to kind of show that off to you guys so that you knew, right, well, we can't get it just yet. Do you know how to use the website Wardrobe Unlock Analyzer? It's incredibly useful for what you're doing. Actually, no, I've never used that. Never, never, never. Alright. So yeah, that's minis, and I'm pretty sure that's most of it. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to spend too much more money. Because we are dropping. I need ranked to come back. When the hell is ranked coming back? It doesn't say yet. Come back, ranked. For the love of God, come back. So, yeah, that's about that, I think. We got a ton of fractal stuff sort of all over our inventory, but we don't worry about that for now. The Pack Scout map and materials. Now, what time is it? Someone remind me in quarter of an hour to go to Zeg High of the Lost. Can someone remind me? Because I keep forgetting to do that on the stream. And I do want to show that off. And I need a couple more skins from him, so. Someone remind me for that. Ranked is coming on the 11th with the raid. Okay. Alright, so on Tuesday. Someone in chat says, dude, I'll give you $20 to lick that back up. Ugh, lick what up? Off the ground? Disgusting. Okay. My brain broke a little bit there. What were we going on? We were. Oh yeah. So now let's go back to the Skyscale nest and cash these in. These toys that I gathered, right? So all the way down here. I like how the Venter Pass is a place that I'm like quite regularly going to. Requires API, but helps a lot to pinpoint the cheapest skins you can earn. Not all of them though. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm using efficiency for at the moment. You know, I just browse by ascending or descending. As far as armors and weapon go, there's really nothing that isn't Gem Store or Guild. Really, there's World vs. World set, Gem Store, and whatever the other thing was I just said. There's really nothing's really in my reach, to be honest. There's a couple of skins, like the eye shield from this map, right? And I guess tearing up dragons, blood weapons and stuff. But there's like a whole other section of this challenge, which is living world-oriented stuff. And living world-oriented stuff we're spending on the Skyscale right now. We're spending our time on that. Alright, so check it out. So I just want to point out. Oh, your Skyscale has still eaten all she can eat for now. Really? Wait. Is this... Can someone just confirm to me in chat? Is this real-world time gate or is it Tyrion time gate at this point? I did that hours ago. Like, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours ago. So maybe I do have to come back tomorrow. Well, look. It's 2 real-world hours. I just have to clean her nest and then she'll want to eat. Anyway, the nest was dirty, so, I did that. Now, it says our Skyscale is feeling upset, which I guess might mean she wants to be played with and toys. So I'm going to play with her. She's feeling melancholy. And now I'm going to play again. She's feeling content. Do you want to eat once you're happy? And then I'll play again. What if you just abandon this? How bad does it get? Does it get like... Oh, it would be cool if it died and you had to redo the collections. I would find that amazing. Feeding is real world. Between collections, it's 2 hours. Okay, there you go. I think Asuaka has actually got the answer. I think you guys don't understand. Yeah. Okay, so we have to wait then. We have to wait 24 hours. Damn. I don't think anyone's tried to abandon it. Yeah, I know. I made it upset. Will it go worse than upset? Will it be, you know, devastated? Will it be, you know, experiencing a loss of the will to live? Or Alright, anyway, here's a toy. So we... Oh, wait. Give treat, but it won't eat that, I think, probably. Oh, no. This is a treat. This isn't food. So, I got an item from Fractals, by the way. I got, like, spider legs. And I think that's what this is. So, yeah, here you go. Skyscale treats given. And then if I throw another one, it's just the spider leg again, right? But so, these are all meats we're going to gather from the world that are treats. So anyway, we are going to give it the toy. And then the ball. And then we're going to give it this toy. The flute. We're going to play the flute for it. I like that. It likes the sound of the music. This is really good. This is really good. It's such a shame people are so short-sighted about fucking time gates. Now I need the reward really quickly that they'll completely overlook all the awesome little animations and details in this. Like, what a miserable state of affairs. How sad is that? Alright, here we go. So, give the toy. Oh, this is like the bedding for it. And then the heat lamp. Keep it nice and warm. And there we go. We got the toys done. So, the icon is of a toy there. That's not very good. But there you go. So, we got that. So, we need to feed it 3 more times. I guess that's tomorrow then. Oh, this is really terrible. I wanted to get this done today. And there's a time gate. What is this? Okay. Sorry. Skyscale treats. Alright, so we're just gonna... I'm gonna direct highlight that. And I'm gonna turn that off. And we're gonna... just run on through. So we want to defeat a Karka to obtain a treat for our Skyscale. More likely to drop from champions. You gotta feed it 1 more time. Yeah, I know. I know. Alright, let's go up here. Yeah, sorry for yelling. I actually yelled a little bit loud there. I'm quite a loud person, right? So if I try to be loud... I think I get a bit I think I'm a bit scary, to be honest. So I try not to do that. Also because it clips the microphone. Also because it's just obnoxious. There's lots of reasons. But I shook the walls a little bit there. Let me just say that. It's more likely to drop from the veterans. Well, we got one instantly, so thank you, Guild Wars 2. Moving on, the masticated... What does masticated mean? Doesn't it mean chewed up? Doesn't this mean I'm chewing it for them? Or is it that the animal is chewing? No. I must be chewing this, right? Like a bird. Defeat sand lions to obtain a treat for your Skyscale. More likely to drop from champions. So where's a good place for sand lions? I do like sand lions. I just don't know where we might find them on the regular. Somewhere in the Ellen Riverlands, probably. Yeah, I always remember that word mastication because I first was introduced to it when I was a teenager, where of course you're very interested in another funny word that sounds similar to that. And I think when I first heard it, I'd like, you know, misheard or something and thought they were the same word. But that's just stuck in my brain. It's quite a specialized word, I feel. Or archaic, at least. Like, it's not really a necessary word for common parlance. And yet I know it quite clearly. The Riverlands have a lot of, well, that's where we are, right? I don't know why, but I just felt like there'd be sand lions here, and there are. I can't honestly tell you guys that I just knew this. I just lucked out, I think. That my first instinct was right. The only problem with lots of sand lions, as you can currently see, is the blind spam. So what I'm trying to do is drop my AoEs, but not stand in the blinds. Also, I can counter blind now. I've got my own blind field rolling. So for that duration, we'll be alright. But fighting a whole group, you've got to be kind of precise with where you stand. Alright, here we go. Tasty dried cat's paws. Our pressure's pretty low because I'm half zealot, half minstrel right now. Which I've been utilizing in fractals. So Fractal God, it's now occurred to me, is a thing that I'm going to have to go for overall. I've started doing daily fractals again, though. Apparently, it's like 3 months or so of daily fractals, which really doesn't sound that bad. I'd done the equivalent amount back when I was into the system, so shouldn't be too shabby. And that's just sort of going on in the background. Maybe eventually we'll bring that over into the streams. It depends on how enthusiastic people I'm playing fractals with remain about it, because they might not remain for that long, obviously. Defeat Iboga to obtain a treat. So, Iboga, where might Iboga spawn on the regular? Well, Iboga are easy to think about where they spawn on the regular, because there's the Juvenile over in the Glowering Overlook. And there's also... Or was that Jacaranda? Oh, I think that's a Jacaranda I'm thinking of. But anyway, just anywhere lush and with trees and things. You can get as many as you want. Yeah, I've noticed that it's giving me duplicates. It gave me duplicate spider legs when I did fractals yesterday, because Deepstone was on the rotation. I've already got the eel meat as well. Oh, nice. Okay. A bunch of Iboga behind the temple in Istan. Wait, temple? The Modern Crescent Great Hall? The Astralarian? What's the temple? Do you think Palawadan's a temple? Because there is a temple in it, but it doesn't look like it's very green. I'm going to assume you mean the Great Hall? The Astralarian, my bad. Okay. The Astralarian. Oh, look at all these directions people are given. This is awesome, guys. Well, World of Warcraft mounts are essentially skins. As mounts, they cannot be coloured at will. Differently coloured mounts with the same model are used as rewards for all sorts of activities. Guild Wars 2 doesn't really have it as easy, but they can still do some recolor work without having to touch the model itself and just put it behind prestige content. Kind of. I mean, yeah, Guild Wars doesn't have it easy because they're too forgiving with dyes. Dyes should be character bound. Come at me, internet. They should be character bound. They should have always have been character bound. And then you can at least offload the prestige into a different system that has value. But the dye system doesn't have value, and then that kind of screws them. They still get criticized for... Guild Wars 1, you could dye weapons, and in Guild Wars 2, you can't dye weapons. And it's that exact discussion. It's that exact talking point. The reason is you can have a little bit more value. And, so, like, look at Ascended weapon skins, right? Just the default kind. You know, there's all different colors. There are slight model tweaks on those as well, but they're almost imperceptible model tweaks. With the way that the game presents its assets, which is another discussion and another problem where ArenaNet and Guild Wars 2 makes things harder for themselves. But yeah, the problem is the dye system, unfortunately. But yeah, they still get criticized with not letting you dye your weapons because it was in Guild Wars 1, so why isn't it in Guild Wars 2? But you know, it's a valuable tool to have. They're just not efficient. They're too friendly. They're too nice. They're not efficient about how they implement stuff. Alright, tasty dried bark. I'm wondering if I need an abogger too. So the dried bark is from a jacaranda. Oh, did I skip ahead? Am I an idiot? No. A bog is here as well. So hold on. We gotta get some dried flowers. I like this. Bark and flowers. That's a nice, comfortable, quick way of sort of highlighting the difference between the two plant species. Oh, next season has the new titles, does it? Interesting. Oh, Cho's coming out with the big guidance immediately. Okay, well, thank you. North from there, you have eels. Eels we already did. We already did sand lions. Gazelles are there, apparently. Oh, we need to kill gazelles. I guess that's all the ranger pets are in the list, right? In PvP, if you do well in a season, you get a title. And they're adding new ones. Of course, if they just removed people's out-of-date titles, then they wouldn't have to do that. And the titles would forever have meaning. Think about it. Think about the value there. Think about how efficient that is. Think about how you could have spent all that time making new titles here, working on other things. Huh? Take the titles away. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. Do you think the sprouts give it? Doesn't seem they do. There's another one over here. Yeah, that's a good question. Inks is asking, so have they retired the old ones? There you go, tasty dried flower, got it. I guess they have retired the old ones. That might explain why people were a little bit more interested in the previous season. Because it was like their last chance to get unyielding or whatever. Okay, so, insects. Just insects? Any insects? What's a good insect drop location, I wonder? Are you serious? It's worse when I don't know where I'm going on the map, because it increases the chance for that to happen. A place where I can just... Oh, well, beetles. Beetles spawn in this expansion. Maybe there's some up here in the Desolation. Oh, Crystal Oasis near the Awakened Hero Point. You're right, Undius. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're right. That's a good one. Yeah, let's go there. Bye-bye. Who is that? KUJC. I never know how to say your name. I know you're a very regular watcher, by the way, and I never know how to say your name. But Kuzk says they were working on other projects that apparently weren't related to Guild Wars 2, but now they are actually focused on Guild Wars 2. We don't even know if they weren't related to Guild Wars 2, by the way. They just said other projects. But obviously, they weren't benefiting Guild Wars 2 right here, right now. And now they've all gone. But that doesn't mean that they're exclusively focusing on Guild Wars 2. I've had to be really careful in my videos and stuff to not give that impression. Because I think it is likely they'll keep doing other things. And I would want them to keep doing other things. I just want them to become something, right? The true tragedy of all that stuff is not the revelation that they were doing other things as a studio. It's that all the other things they were doing as a studio haven't turned into anything. And thus all those years of relative neglect comparable to what it could have got. Guild Wars 2 has gone through, has been all for nothing. That's the true tragedy. It's not actually the reveal. The reveal is sort of, you know, anyone with half a brain could have known that they would have been looking at other stuff. And always should have been looking at other stuff. Alright, the dried bark we already got, so the eel we already got, so now we're off to a hoof. So this is from a gazelle. Defeat rock gazelles. Now rock gazelles makes me think highlands, probably. So let's just try over at Unja's place. 50 buccarinos for a single win in top 50 NA. You guys don't understand how this stuff works at all. It just dropped. No, you meant the previous item. Yeah, I saw it. I just, I committed to killing the other one because it was likely to attack me when I went into the world map. I wonder if harpies need anything. North of the Cormier Temple for gazelles. Look at this. I'm actually getting some proper boosted by chat here. Look at this. I don't have these trivia bombs about Path of Fire. You guys do. This is amazing. Every game company drops projects they aren't enthusiastic about. Just think about how many projects Blizzard's dropped. StarCraft Ghost Titan, another unannounced StarCraft project just last week. Oh, I agree completely. I agree completely. Of course, it doesn't often come with mass layoffs in the way that ArenaNet did. And also, I think that it's not the fundamental, they dropped something, right? And in fact, I've talked very openly before. I think if any studio was likely to drop things repeatedly, it's ArenaNet. If you look at the way they thought about the development of Guild Wars 2 and what they prided themselves on and innovation and, breaking the wheel and all this kind of stuff, not that I use that phrase, but, they always were a studio that seemed to just be throwing a lot of shit out of the window, and just get quite far with something, and then if they weren't happy with it, they just throw it away. I don't think that fundamentally changed just because Guild Wars 2 released and we didn't hear them talking publicly about it much. But I think, they were very proud of that. I think they think a lot of their Guild Wars 2 success came from that perspective, and so, yeah, I think that, it makes sense to me that they would be dropping stuff. But I think that you can't just say, all studios drop stuff. That doesn't therefore mean that what happened with ArenaNet is therefore, just totally par for the course and normal. It's not par for the course and normal for 6 years worth of development on other projects to have manifested in nothing, to the extent that presumably the publisher has to come forward and over a third of your studio gets fired. What was it? 400 employees and 140 lose their jobs. Like, it's a huge amount of people. It's a huge amount. That's not par for the course. It may be par for the course for a studio to drop projects, but to the extent that we just saw there, I don't think it's fair to sort of hand wave it, as a comment like that might somewhat do. Okay, we got our hoof. I wonder if Elone and Wargs give us anything. Elone and Wargs look pretty cool. Right. Skyscale treats. Hoof. Shark. Oh, sand sharks, of course. Sand sharks. And then bats. Bats is interesting. What kind of bat are we talking about here? Let's just roll a bit over to it for the sharks. I'm just going to go to the dunes. Oh, here we go. Uendel bites back. Titan took 6 years of work to be cancelled. StarCraft Ghost took 12 years before cancellation. Don't forget that even Activision Blizzard just went through a huge round of layoffs recently. There are big parallels here. Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong about this then, actually. That's a good point. I had no idea that was a 12-year thing. I mean, I'm still going to be a skeptic. I'm still going to kick back on that a little bit because 12 years on a game? I mean, do we say that, like, fucking Duke Nukem Forever had that full window or whatever, right? Just because you have a concept for a game and some preliminary work that hasn't gone very far, it doesn't mean that you've been actively spending a lot of resources. Though, of course, that criticism cuts both ways. How far can we truly say ArenaNet got with its various designs and ideas, But here's the true damning thing. Here's the thing that I think is important and does draw a difference between ArenaNet and Blizzard. Blizzard, despite all of that stuff, Blizzard, first of all, are a hugely extraordinary success story that doesn't really hold much water to the experience of much of everything else in the industry. But despite those cancellations or whatever, Blizzard was still pursuing and releasing new ideas and new games. Overwatch was a thing that released in that window. Hearthstone was a thing that released in that window. They've done lots of things and have big success stories outside of their one big MMO, right? Like, that's the whole thing with them, right? Like, they've managed to create new products that people have been able to consume, and they've sustained themselves in that time. Now, you might argue ArenaNet's done the same in terms of releasing 2 boxed expansions, but I'm not sure it's necessarily the same ballpark as approaching entirely new genres and being successes with them, and having multiple franchises going on at once. So, you know, just because that's okay for Blizzard to spend that long, you know, and also, was Titan really 6 years? I don't think it was 6 years. Titan was not in development before World of Warcraft came out, right? And Titan had been announced before 6 years of WoW. And Titan had been announced as cancelled before 6 years of WoW. So I don't know. I don't know about that. But despite everything I just said there, I think you do have a valid point there. I was probably a little bit off with my initial impression. Did we get the sand shark thing there? No. I dried hoof, and then I ended up walking off over here. No, I don't draw new faces on spuds every time. Do I prefer Tempest over Weaver? I'm not actually sure right now. This is very low DPS, right? Because this is actually a fractal support build I'm playing. So it's extremely low DPS. I think there is a good middle ground, though, where Tempest is still my preferred for open world. I definitely prefer Tempest for a lot of structured endgame PvE stuff. DPS Tempest seems to be very good in fractals. Support Tempest is very good in fractals. Heal Tempest on a staff is pretty good in raids. There's lots of Tempest variants that are pretty good, depending on, you know, the tier of gameplay that you're at and whatever. Still no shark drop. We'll find another one. I mean, yeah, overloads are fun, like, from a flavor standpoint and, like, an experience standpoint, but it doesn't mean that they're necessarily effective, and a lot of fun for people in MMOs comes from effectiveness. Yeah, Path of Exile, Warframe, and I actually think RuneScape as well. I think they're all examples of studios that have one project, they focus on that one project, they manage their communities, they have long-term success and continued growth. I actually watched, I don't know whether I've talked about this on a stream, but it really impacted me. And I think anyone into Guild Wars 2 and this whole layoff thing and stuff, even various GW2 devs might be interested in looking at it. At GDC, the GGG, the Path of Exile guys, did a recent talk about their game and about long-term supporting their game and working with their game. And they talked about how when it released, they didn't really have many people playing. And then they talked about how... And they basically based the entire talk around a chart of user population. And they showed all the spikes. And they were like, okay, so look, here was our initial launch spike. This is where we rose to. Here's how it dropped off. We were expecting it to drop off. All games drop off. Look at how low our population was. But we managed to... They said it dropped to about a level of about 10,000 users. That's all they had. They had about 10,000 people that played the game. That was it. That was the whole PoE population. And they were happy, though, because they had set out as a new studio with just a couple of devs. They knew that they would be above... They'd be able to sustain themselves with about 10k people and the profits that came out of 10k people. So they were like, well, look, we've hit our bottom line. So let's release some new stuff. And they had a spike and it dropped. And then they released some new stuff and they had a spike and it dropped. But every time it dropped, it was dropping to a lower level than before. And so they started to panic and they started to look at different things. And then... And they just talked about all the little lessons that they learned, but they never looked away from PoE. They never looked away from the game. And they talked about how depressed they got as a studio for a certain period, as the spikes were pretty low. And then they talked about some of the initiatives and like finding a regular pace for their big releases. And they talked about how their bottom line started growing, and then their spikes started growing even more. And then they just got sort of show it through all the years and all the different things they did, and how it was no like sudden, oh, sudden success. There it is. They got lucky. Someone pulled them out. You know, the hand of God came and arrived. No. It was, you know, it was a very steady course for them. And it was a brilliant GDC talk. It's really good. You guys should check it out. And I couldn't help but watch that and just think of Guild Wars the whole time, obviously. Who in my position wouldn't? All right, tasty bat wings. So the only thing I can think for bats right now, the only thing I can think is the Temple of Cormyr and going north. Oh, there you go. Someone in chat has seen it as well. Oh, a couple of you guys have seen it in chat. Reminded you of Living Wild Season 1 and 2. I mean, everything to me. It screams everything, Guild Wars. Wow, you know what? I've never seen this. Genuinely, I've never seen this. Do you think the Forged have a drop? Because, I mean, Skyscale is kind of timeline after the Forged, in theory, gone. So I doubt they have a drop. I'm doing this whole event on the speculative chance that there might be a bat there. Seems like a pretty dumb idea to me. So I'm just going to leave and we'll grab another thing. Oh, did somebody donate to me? Really? Let me see. Sorry, I don't have any of that stuff up. I'm trying to get used to reading all that at the end. Hydra must have a drop, right? Surely Hydra do. You can kill the bats in any map, even caves in Caledon Forest. Oh. How would we eat the metal? Well, you know, you could have, like, soft metal. It's a dragon, guys, alright? It's a dragon. It eats different things. Oh, my God! That's a huge donation! Lyra! Lyra, oh, and Anonymous earlier, 40 minutes ago, tipped me $6. Thank you so much, Anonymous. I missed that too. Lyra with $60. $60, thank you. Hi, WP. I can't be here too long, but my last final exams was yesterday, and I wanted to thank you. The last couple of years have been really tough, and I nearly dropped out. Your videos really helped me get through it, so I wanted to do something for you in return. Really? Oh, that's so sweet of you. I'm really glad that you stuck it out, by the way, and that you've managed to make it through your finals, and everything's gone well in the end. Thank you. That's really, really nice. And yeah, you know, everyone needs a bit of leisure. Everyone needs a bit of relaxation. If I happened to have been the one that was you ended up watching on occasion, then, you know, that's lovely. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I will cherish that deeply. Thank you. I like how Wilson in that talk shat on pipeline development, which Guild Wars 2 devs are trying to use for Living Story. Ink says, I forget, do you use a capture card? No, I don't use a capture card. I have in the past for various things, but mostly just when playing consoles. Last time I used a capture card was when I finished my Final Fantasy X-2 series, which was a while ago now. It was, what, 3 Christmases ago now? 2 Christmases? I think it was 3. So, bats on any map. Well, let me see. Does she want Dolliac meat? Scale fin. Oh, are we just over at Corteria now? Skelk, Scale, Minotaur, and Wyvern. Alright, let's just go to Corteria then. So, bats. Where might we find some bats? A cave in Caledon, someone just said a second ago. Are there not loads of bats along this coast here? Why do I remember farming for monster achievement bats along this coast? Are you going to play the new PoE League today? No, I'm not. Oh, it was spiders, I guess I farmed here. Well, hold on. Let me go up to the coast, because I'm pretty sure I remember... Wait, is this the right coast? Well, Scale we need, right? Scale and Skelk, so let's kill some Scale. Bats can be found in the cave just beside the cliff of the northwest waypoint in Lake Doric. What a beautifully written Twitch comment that is. So the northwest comment... The cave beside the cliff. Look at that. Look at how complete. There's cardinal directions in there. There's points of reference. There's everything. There's the opening waypoint. And bats have been found. Thank you very much, Equinar. Look at that. Look how good that is. Oh, you escaped before Kitty got to cook your Asura? Did you just talk about yourself in the third person? And as Kitty? Yeah, you did. Your name is Lady Kitty Guild Wars 2. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm over this cave. You can come cook, I guess, whatever that means. Do I still need the rock? What rock? There you go. Tasty Batwing. Tasty Scale fin. Well, we already killed... Okay. See, if this was Guild Wars 1, I could tell you where there's loads of Scale. And loads of Skelk as well. Well, Skelk... Skelk are just in any kind of caves, right? And Scale are just near water. Oh, I'll tell you where there's a dick ton of Scale. Please don't put me in combat. Please don't put me in combat. Where? Here. This waypoint. Alright, let's go this way. Let's cross over here. Did you still need the Etherbound gauntlets and greaves? Yeah, I haven't picked those up yet. I don't know. Are they timed? I guess they are timed. I'm gonna have to think about this kind of stuff. Yeah, I haven't picked any of that stuff up. Here we go. Scale Bonanza. And if you get the egg event, there's billions of them here as well. So hopefully, just because they're super low level, it doesn't. Oh, look! Oh no, coins. Damn. Not a single thing in the delivery box yet. Is this a huge mistake? Have we just like sunk X amount of G into that and we're just not going to see? Some of these guys just aren't dropping any loot at all, or experience. Feels like yesterday when you farmed these guys for Slayer achievement. I'm kind of having one of those moments right now. You know when, yeah, I always say, look, if it's in the benefit of the game, just add a new thing. Add a new system, add a new whatever. If it benefits the game, don't worry about people who already have an item or already spent a lot of effort and it's now undermined or whatever. What is going on here? 3 males? No, really? No, guys, you got to stop doing this. What? But this... Okay, wait. This is very sweet of you. Thank you for, I guess it's fair to say, and there's some Etherbound gauntlets. Thank you. I mean, look, I'm amazed. Thank you very much. This is really nice. However, any more? How, you bought me these twice? It has to be the same guy, because the message on each mail is the same. So, what is this? Did you mess that up? Did you double purchase? I get nothing from this. I can't return to sender either. I can't help you anymore. You've given me extra. Look, whoever you are, thank you very much. This is amazing. I just feel bad that you've doubled up somehow accidentally. But thank you. That's so cool. Send a message to support and you can get your money back on that. Apparently, we found this out the other day. Somebody wanted to be a spud as well, so we'll sort that out. And the guild can get that. I deposited like 300 gold to the guild yesterday, plus 1,000 ectos, plus what else was there? Plus those precursors. The guild got a ton of stuff yesterday. I'm looking forward to for the thing. Thank you. I feel a bit iffy about this because it feels like I just sort of grab this stuff and move on, and that doesn't feel quite right. I want to use the skins as well, but I really like the way that List looks. I guess it's only right that I should put both of them on this set here. So there you go, Etherbound. Thank you very much. That's brilliant. Oh my god, look, when moments like that happen, it genuinely makes me think we might actually get this done. Okay, right, scale. Did I get the scale food? I don't think I did. I don't see any scale food. There's eggs, but we don't really want to hand those in because that ends the event. There's some more in the water. Maybe I should go kill some high-level scale. Oh, I got the scale 5 minutes ago. Did I? Oh, I did. I did. Tasty scalefin. Alright, good. Alright. Look, let's hand in the eggs then. I love the Skyscale above water, by the way. Thank you again for those Etherbound things. That's brilliant. Does that mean I've got everything on the gem store now? That's on promotion right now. Does that mean I've got everything? Dyes, yes. I've got that. Oh, I don't have Jungle Lord Farron. He wasn't there yesterday, though. Oh, I guess they've rotated the minis. So I need Farron, Scruffy. I have the kitten and I have the puppy. I need Demi. I need the Choya Pinata Man, the airship. I have Squire Aurene and the Wyvern. Earthshaker. Oh, is that a Reaper? Is that a Reaping Glyph again? No, it's not. That's not a Reaping Glyph. I'm not interested in that. The Arrowhead I need. Garm I need. I don't even have basic Garm. Look at that. The Moose I've got. The Kitten. The Rock. I don't even have the basic Rock. Oh yeah, there's a new glider as well. The things I'm most interested in buying directly off of the TP, off of the gem store, are things that are like around the 400 gem level, because the rest I'm hoping to get with automatic unlockers. Like stuff like this. Sports sunglasses, 150 gold. Already got all these. I got about 50% of it, I guess. Look at how cool this looks with those now. We've got all of these. Look, this is all very good. Look at this. Thank you for these. Oh my god. What is this? Oh, it's the Rock. Oh, thank you. So here I am again. This is Lily. Lily, you're amazing. Thank you. Holy crap. The Rock. Oh, I'm totally repping that as well. I actually really like The Rock. The Rock is my kind of style, guys. All right. It's cutesy, but it's more derpy, right? I like derpy. I don't like cutesy, but I do like derpy. That's why, like, one of my favorite potato cams is This guy. Look at that guy. You can't really see him because... Well, hold on. Let me transform. I don't want to do any weird transforms. This smoking potato. Wait. Character. Move. There we go. We'll shift him over for now. Look at him. Look at that derpy bastard. So good. Thank you. The pet rock is awesome. Thanks so much. Look at him. He's amazing. I love it. Thank you. The Skyscale looks really good in green there as well. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're almost there. So we got the scale. We got the Skelk next. Defeat Skelk. What, guys, what is... Why? Everyone needs a little jungle lord. Look, someone's going to watch this stream and think, cynically, that I went to the gem store here and I scrolled through the stuff expecting this to happen. I really didn't. And I really wasn't trying to bait people into doing this. This is way more than I deserve, but thank you. Mini jungle lords? Cool. I mean, this one's kind of silly and jokey, but he's not derpy. Look, I'll run the rock for a while. I'll swap to Farron later. How many varieties of Farron have I got now? I now have Jungle Lord Farron, Festive Farron, Mini Lord Farron. I want to be clear as well that 90.999% of everything you're looking at my account is not handouts, right? This is the first Farron I've been gifted, for example, right? Anyway, the Festive one, the Mini, the South Sun. I'm still missing Officer Farron. He's a Living World reward. And Lord Humphrey Farron. Is this one of his ancestors? Yeah, ancestors. I was going to say descendants there. I confused myself. So we need these two varieties of Farron. And we'll have the full Farron collection. Okay. Oh my god, this is brilliant. Thank you, guys. Ah. What a way to start the day. Okay, again, Skelk. The only natural progression now is to go kill the Pet Rock Bounty in Jahai while repping the Pet Rock Mini. You should get a hidden achievement for that. How good would that be? Ink says, how long has it been since you had to film any potatoes? Genuinely like 3 years. I haven't done it for a long time. I tried to not this most recent Christmas, but the one before. I tried to, but I did rubbish at it, and then I got distracted by, you know, other stuff. Festive stuff. I tried to make some when I went back home, basically, because the thing is, I don't really shop for potatoes for myself. Since I moved out, I don't really do potatoes. If I get potatoes in, I'm just going to end up eating all this really unhealthy crap. I'm going to make chips out of them. I'm going to make jack of potatoes that I stuff full of beans and cheese and chili, and I'm going to make all kinds of, like, terrible things. So I just keep the potatoes away. And I don't really crave potatoes either, so it's the kind of thing that I would cook if I had it in the house to stop it going off, or, you know, them to stop sprouting and stuff. So I just don't do it. So I'd only really do potatoes if I go home. So when I went home for Christmas a bit back and saw the family, I was thinking of doing it with them, but it just wasn't that fun, and I didn't do very good, so I just thought, oh, whatever. Go to the treat tail. Oh, we've just crashed in Guild Wars, but the stream is still going. Okay, right, so this is the crash. This is about on cue, about an hour and 20 minutes in, about an hour and a half in. This is when we would normally crash, but today we have been spared the whip to a certain extent. In that it was only Guild Wars that crashed.